Let me ask you something, because you've said a couple of things there that I want to just connect the dots on. The Northwest has a lot of hydro resource, which is
Yes,
low cost and firm. So you can really shape that power the way that you
yes,
want. It's basically on demand green electrons that are very low
yes,
cost, which are like the ideal resource. The problem with hydro, of course, is that it doesn't scale. Anywhere that you could have
yes,
done hydro, you've done hydro. So
yes.
would it be a true statement to say that SPP wants to make a deal with the Northwest folks to be part of their region, because then they have a large scale standing green electrons that are shapeable?
Well,
Why does SPP want the Northwest in their territory?
generally speaking, the broader your footprint is, the more diversity in weather and in diversity in resources that you have. And that's a key part of the benefit proposition.
Okay, so SPP has a
The
ton of low cost
yeah,
wind, but it comes when it blows, and so
yes,
that's not super helpful. So they
yeah,
would want to balance potentially with that
yeah.
hydro
Yes, well, but the hydro is mostly already spoken for. They have contractual obligations,
to
so
California
it gives them
effectively.
more flexibility. In fact, a lot
Uh-huh.
of that, I mean, the city of Los Angeles, which is
Hmm.
a municipal utility that's 5 times the size of my entire state, owns transmission assets outside of California. And it's basically geared toward how do we tap in already to that hydro resource. And then
Got it.
also the Bonneville Power Administration is a federal entity, and it's really complex to get a federal entity. And SPP worked on that. When you look at North Dakota with the different colors,
Hmm.
there's a WAPA, a Western Power Authority, that's a federal agency. There's different rules for one federal agency to take jurisdiction over another. And of course,
Okay.
Bonneville is a large, powerful entity, but it helps them. It helps everybody when there's more transactions.
Hmm.
The more, if your benefit metrics are right, where each transaction is beneficial, the more transactions you have, the more benefits you have. And of course, and that applies to anybody. If there's a market, Bonneville's interest is a market right next to them. There's a lot of transactions going on, and they want to be part of that.
Right.
And of
And your
course, as you
point
say,
about
when
the
it's the hydro, when they've got extra, it's a great value
sure it is.
for
Yeah.
them to sell it and pass those savings back to their ratepayers instead of having it sit surplus, and for the other folks, because it's a cheaper source of generation. And that's the nature of markets. You don't have a deal unless it benefits both sides.